New Mexico Crime Files, a deep dive into the archives, shocking and notorious cases, the arrests and what led to them, and what happened to the suspect. Here are your hosts, Dean Staley and Jessica Garate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of New Mexico Crime Files. I'm KRQE's Jessica Garate, along with my co-anchor and friend, Dean Staley. Dean, welcome.
Good to be with you, Jess. We got we got some good crimes lined up for you.
We really do, and some interesting ones, some different ones. And first, we're going to start off with, unfortunately, a drunk driver. And this guy, usually they're speeding, they're in the wrong lanes. This guy's on a slow speed chase. Mm-hmm. And then he runs a bunch of red lights. He's putting all these people around him in danger. He was very defiant with state police officers trying to stop him. And when they finally do stop him, that's when things get dangerous.
Right. And this guy is sort of the poster child for this ongoing problem we have in the state of New Mexico. And you were talking about when you first started working here?
It was, I've been here 21 years. When I first got here, I was reporting, and there was like a guy who had like 14 DWIs, just dozens, and different people. And I'd never seen that before. Yeah. And unfortunately, it just really, it was really eye-opening to me of like what kind of problem we see with drunk drivers here. I just never, I'd been reporting for 5 years by the time I got here, and I had never seen that, those kinds of numbers.
It's a problem everywhere, but let's give some insight to the viewers here. We are the top three. We're the third in the country for DWI deaths, right? Mm-hmm. So we have an incredible number of people who die in drinking and driving related accidents. Also, of all the deaths that happen in crashes, 37% of them in New Mexico are related to drunk driving, right? That's a huge number, more than a third, right? So if you could eliminate the drunk driving, the roadways would be much safer.
So much safer.
Yeah, incredible.
So let's go ahead and watch this first story. This is a throwback. It's Kim Bias.
All right.
That's the moment state police officers performed a pit maneuver to get Arnold Jones Jr. to stop. It started just after 10 p.m. on November 3rd on eastbound Comanche from Pan American Freeway. The officer spotted a piece of metal dragging under the truck and tried to pull him over. The truck pulled into a parking lot, then turned around and drove away. The truck ran through 4 red lights, speeds reached only about 40 miles per hour. At one point, it looks like Jones is waving the officer to pass him as he weaves between lanes. Police say Jones then turned left onto 2nd Street, and because he was traveling less than 35 miles an hour, state police decided to perform a pit maneuver. When they got Jones stopped, that's when things got tense for officers.
Watch yourself, watch yourself, watch yourself. So back up, Sarge. Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Get out of the car! Get out! Come on! Get out! I got less lethal. Taser! Get him!
You can see from another officer's dash cam how far out the truck Jones lunges at the officer. Then you see another officer come up along the passenger side and tase him. The officers are able to drag him out of the vehicle and cuff him. He was charged with his 4th DWI. Jones Jr. was still trying to mess with police even after he was locked up in a holding cell.
Have an attorney present during questioning. If you cannot afford to prove Hey, I'll give you that one.
So what is striking about this, Jess, I cannot believe the level of oblivion that this man is living in. He is so drunk. He's driving right through red lights as though they don't exist. He's waving the officer around him like, come on, drive around me. He has seems to have no idea what's going on. Then when they finally get him stopped, he lunges out of the car. Like, do you have any idea of how many cops are around you? I mean, he's lucky he didn't get shot. Really.
He really
This
is.
is crazy.
And he's still, even when they take him, when he's arrested, he's still like trying to go after cops.
Oh, and he's goofing around, right?
He's goofing around. He's not taking any of this.
Yeah, just ridiculous. So it's terrifying to think that someone of that level of intoxication is on the roadways that you're driving on, that I'm driving on, that our kids are, going to be driving on. Just nuts. Yeah.
And this was an interesting ending because he was indicted for his 7th DWI. And that was back in 2022. He pled guilty. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't have to go back to prison, but he wanted to.
Right.
And this is a guy who's saying, hey, I really do have a problem. Maybe you saw this. I think maybe this could be an eye-opener when you're seeing these kind of stories done on yourself. Like maybe this is a wake-up call. Maybe it's time for me to get some help.
Right. So this is the poster child for drunk driving. Is he the poster child for second chances? Right?
Right.
Kim Vyas has that part of this story.
I can't recall that one.
You can't recall that one in Siebel County?
No.
It's been a fuzzy 20 years for Arnold Jones Jr.
He doesn't remember them, but I have validated all of those DWIs, Your Honor. He doesn't remember all of them.
Last November, one of Jones' drunk drives came to a dramatic end. State police had to perform a pit maneuver to get Jones to stop after they spotted him on Comanche near Pan American, dragging a piece of metal under his truck. Jones fled, leading officers on a slow speed chase. At one point, it looks like Jones is waving the officer to pass him as he weaves between lanes. When officers did stop him, things got tense.
Watch yourself, watch yourself, watch yourself. So back up, Sergeant. Hands up!
With Jones lunging at officers out of the truck.
Come on, get out! I got less lethal. Taser, get it!
Officers get him into custody. Today, he agreed to a deal.
How do you plead regarding that charge?
And a change in his ways.
He also understands the seriousness of this case, and he is very thankful that no one got hurt, and wants the court and counsel to know that he is committed to being sober. He's had now the 363 days of sobriety. He's taken advantage of whatever was available in MDC and is committed to a sober life.
Under the deal, Jones admitted to aggravated fleeing and 6 prior DWIs. The state dropped 2 other felony charges and agreed to a 3-year prison sentence. Under the deal, Jones must serve all 3 years. Judge Stan Whitaker signed off on it with some advice.
Mr. Jones, you have a lot of life ahead of you. This isn't the way to do it, and certainly you're going to cut it short if you continue this way. But I hope that what has happened with all of this has been a game changer for you and will move you forward in a more positive direction.
So I love the message from Judge Whitaker afterwards during his sentencing. So he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. That's back in 2022. He got out in 2024 because of good time served. Mm-hmm. He was then told he had to serve 2 years of probation, but then July of last year, arrested for burglary charges. Those charges, though, were dropped because a witness wouldn't cooperate. Mm-hmm. So still getting in some trouble, but hopefully he's not causing more trouble on the road.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Right. We just don't know whether this second chance is going to make the difference for him.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we're getting into a serial bank robber, and you get to decide whether he's the dumbest bank robber you've ever seen or the bravest. Let's put it that way when we come back. The FBI has identified a suspect in a recent Albuquerque bank robbery. Investigators say 47-year-old James Patrick Verdream robbed the New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union on Indian School near Louisiana. It happened Tuesday. The suspect did not make much of an effort to hide his face, as you can see in these surveillance photos. The FBI is offering up to $1,000 for Verdream's arrest and conviction. All right, welcome back. We're moving on from the drunk driving poster child to maybe the bank robber poster child of New Mexico. And the question I had before we went to break before was, is he brave or is he just dumb? You get to be the judge.
Yes, we're going to be showing that story. This is about a serial bank robber who was caught. Again, this happened back in 2018. He's been hitting metro banks for the last 4 years. And even after spending time in prison, it seems like he just never learns his lesson. So let's show you this story. This is by Brittany Bade.
It's a face bank security cameras have been catching for years. You may remember 51-year-old James Verdream as the bank robber who took a taxi to steal from a credit union on Indian School in 2014. The man in the LA hat was captured in Phoenix and sentenced to more than 3 years, but eventually got out. And the FBI says it didn't take him long to get back to his old ways. According to the criminal complaint, Verdream robbed the Nusenda Credit Union on Montgomery in Pennsylvania on March 9th. Agents say he gave the teller a note demanding money and walked out with $2,000. Witnesses say he got into the silver Nissan Sentra driven by a woman with red hair. Just 5 days later, the same duo was seen canvassing 3 other Nusenda credit unions, until ultimately Verdream went in and robbed the Rio Grande Credit Union on 4th and Mountain. There, the feds say he got away with more than $2,500. The next day, U.S. Marshals found and arrested Verdream for violating his probation and the robberies. They also picked up his accomplice, Rhonda Quintana. Quintana works for a cab company, and she first told authorities she didn't know why Verdream had her take him to so many banks. But texts between her and a friend show she knew exactly what this accused serial bank robber was doing. Brittany Bade, KRQE, News 13.
Okay, our producer Fernando's laughing. He's like someone's texting.
Laughing.
You know that guy you drive to the banks for the bank robberies? Oh yeah, that guy. Are you picking him up? Oh yeah, he just called. Like, what are we doing? What's going on?
I love that he's taking taxis to go rob banks.
Yeah,
just drop me off here.
This is fantastic. I was also struck by the fact this guy's 51 years old. For some reason, I have this this internal notion that like, if you're doing stuff that's this dumb and you're doing them consistently, you got to be in your 20s. Like,
absolutely.
I'm going to grow out of my bank robbery phase. You're 51, bro. Like, I think this is your game. I think we're committed now. This is nuts.
And then he's so distinguishable. Like, there's nothing. Yeah. You're not disguising anything. Your clothes you're wearing, the way you look, everything.
Yeah, that's why I said our viewers get to decide here. Is he brave or is he just dumb? He shows up looking exactly like he always does. Like the minute he walks in, you'd think people would be tackling him. Like that's the guy. That's he just Nusenda. He just you would think they would just put his picture up.
Yeah.
Right. Insane. So no disguise, a known bank robber. It turns out, though, we probably won't be seeing him for a while.
Yes. He did get some very stiff punishment. So Verdream was federally charged back in March of 2018. In December of that year, he pled guilty to holding up 2 more Albuquerque credit unions. He's admitted to robbing the Nusenda Credit Union on Montgomery in Pennsylvania, then hitting the Rio Grande Credit Union 5 days later, as mentioned. Yeah. In exchange for his guilty plea in federal court, Verdream is expected, he did receive 10 years in federal prison.
Right, and this was in March of 2019.
So,
and as our viewers well know, if you're doing federal time, it's day for day. So there's no good time. There's no, I behaved myself. I got, years shaved off my sentence. No. So this means we won't see him till 2029.
Yeah.
Which feels like it's coming up soon now. But he'll be in his 60s. Are we still doing this? Are we still doing this? Like, can you be on Social Security and still hitting banks?
I
don't know.
I'm going to keep it. This his last name Verdream. I'm going to keep an eye out.
Yeah, I want to bet. I want to bet for him though. I want to bet that he's. Please.
Yes.
Let's. I would hope that 10 years in prison, federal prison, you come out maybe.
Finally, have learned your lesson.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking that bet.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not putting my own money down on that one because this guy, once you get your jam, this seems to be his jam.
Go until you get caught.
Yeah. Okay, so our next crime? We're talking about our next crime
yes,
now?
Our next crime. This isn't just as low as it gets sometimes. And it's one of those like petty things that you just are like, really?
Yeah.
I mean.
So the question for the viewers this time is, how little money would you commit a crime for? Right? What's your number?
Yeah.
Some people say, well, I'm not going to jail over $5. Are you going to jail over $20? How about 30? How about 45? Like, I don't know, right? So that's the one coming up. And it's also one of these just sort of discouraging. It's a great little museum that's, a nonprofit, and someone targets that place. Kind of messy.
Yeah. We're going to have that story when we come back. And welcome back, everyone. So, Dean, Grant always makes fun of me when I use this line.
Yeah.
But there's just sometimes you have to use it. It's as low as it gets. Like, this thief committed a crime and it's as low as it gets. And this is one of those.
Right. And I think the only way it could be lower, and the reason we say lower is because this thief targeted a museum donation box, right? This is a tiny little museum, a great little museum, runs on donations. It's a nonprofit, and he hits it. I think the only way you make this worse is if he maybe ripped off an orphanage, right? He stole
exactly.
He stole the van from the orphanage. That's when
you
say, how low can you? Well, we just went a little lower. But this is
this was just desperate and terrible. This happened up in Los Alamos, and it was a man not only swiping the cash from the Los Alamos Historical Museum, but vandalizing what it was in.
Right. And it's the ugly part about this is you think about the people who put their time and their energy into making a place like this that enriches everything in the community. You can take your kids there. You can go check it out. It's something to do in a small town like Los Alamos. And then for someone to attack it and mess it up is really kind of heartbreaking.
It really is. Here is the story from Haley Rush. This is back from October of 2015.
It's not easy to rip off, but unfortunately, the young man found a way to do that.
Heather McClanahan says the latest donation box thief went to a lot of trouble.
We have had 2 other donation boxes stolen.
This is the 3rd time the museum has lost money to crooks. So the latest box they secured to the ground with concrete.
So this time, instead of taking off with it because it was encased, they just ripped it apart.
The damage still visible from where the thief pried the back of the box open.
We estimate that there was probably somewhere between $50 and $100.
But McClanahan says it's not about the money, it's about the box itself. A volunteer employee handcrafted it from wood.
And to have this donation box that he has lovingly made for us torn apart like that was very disappointing.
Luckily, employees were able to describe the thief from last Friday's incident, leading Los Alamos police to release this picture of a suspect, 30-year-old Ryan Skelton.
Yeah, they saw him take the money and run out the door.
But McClanahan says some good has come from this.
It's just been wonderfully heartwarming to see the support that we've received and how the community does care.
After people heard about the loss, donations came in from all over.
The community cares about the museum, they care about the history, and we're all part of it together.
The last step will hopefully be to repair the special piece of art that housed the community's contributions.
All right, Jess, this just strikes me now. The fact that someone, I'm picturing this for some reason, maybe sexist, right? An older man who's a woodworker working in his garage, and he's like, you know what? I'll build a new one of those donation boxes, right? And it's got window. You know, these are the same guys who are like building the neighborhood library on the post,
yes,
right? Where you
yeah,
put your books.
absolutely.
Yeah. So he takes the time to do this. It's really nice. You can see it's stained and varnished, and it's beautiful work. And someone tears that up. This reminds me of those crimes. I don't know, and we have these every now and then. There'll be like a wave of car break-ins where they break a window and there's nothing in the car that's worth what it costs to break the window. And the people in the car, like, and in some major cities, they used to put signs on the car like "No radio," like "Please don't break my window." They're basically saying there's nothing in this car. And especially, I think it happened in big cities like San Francisco, New York, different places. You would see signs in Boston. No radio. Yeah. And some people thought, like, I'll just leave my doors unlocked because I can't afford to replace the window. Well, this is like that. He's destroying this beautiful little donation box and not getting even the money that it's worth out of it.
No. And then just the hassle of this the museum is so beautiful. You can tell people love going to it. It's a little gem in Los Alamos. And for someone just to come in for $50 to $100 that was in there and messing the little box up. That was very well done. My sitter has this, like, she doesn't lock her doors because she's just like, I don't have anything in my car. I don't leave anything in my car. So if they break the window, I don't have to pay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting strategy.
I know people that do this.
That's
just go
strategy.
for it.
Yeah. Why not check it out? Yeah. But it is nice to hear the community, this is one of those ones. It's nice the community rallies around and says, and this is the kind of community too. And this, I don't think Los Alamos is special. I think most of the places in New Mexico, if you were really down on your luck and you need it, they would rather give you $50. Right. I mean, this is most places in New Mexico, people are generous. People are always helping other people. So it's kind of disappointing that someone took this angle. I
do love that about New Mexicans because no matter what happens, they all come together. Wherever, as small as this is, or as big as the flooding and fires we've had, they all come. What do you need? Let me help you. Yeah. And you see that statewide. So. Yeah.
And this guy obviously who knows what he had going on. So let's hope he's in a different place.
It's pretty desperate.
Yeah.
It also reminds me, and we've done a lot of these stories, unfortunately, where they run in and they get, there's some fundraiser, a jar at the counter, raising money for, anything from a kid who has cancer to and people running in and just grabbing.
Yeah. Or here's money for funeral costs for a family or something.
Pretty low.
How low can you go? That's the how low can you go report.
So Ryan Skelton was charged with criminal damage to property and larceny. He pled guilty in 2015. He was given probation. He's had other assault and burglary charges since, and now his latest case, prosecutors are trying to get him a prison sentence after he violated probation. So
I'm just going to guess maybe some other issues going on with this gentleman.
I'm pretty sure
in
there's
his
some
life.
other things going on with
I
this.
hope that he gets past them.
Yes.
And gets back to a place where he can, go out and earn a living and not be in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jess, it's been a good one.
This was a good one.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. Again, we'll be back next week with New Mexico Crime Files.